Hello, San Antonio. My name is Robert Ott, and I'm with Three Piece Real Estate, licensed at Remax Integrity here in San Antonio. And this is my podcast. It's called Bear With Me, and this is the third episode. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the 8 best ways to save during the coronavirus era. We're also going to be talking a little bit about some grant money that the state of Texas is actually issuing certain professions. So, if you are interested in buying a home and you live in San Antonio, you are going to love this episode. Stay tuned. All right, San Antonio, thank you guys for joining us on Bear With Me. Let's just jump right into it. So the state of Texas has actually issued some grant money for professions such as a teacher, a firefighter, an EMT, a police officer, or a nurse. So if you are in one of those professions and you guys are looking for a home, there is some grant money that you can actually talk with your lender about, or you can talk with me about, or any sort of real estate agent that you use. And this grant money can actually go towards your down payment and closing costs. Plus, if you have a trusted real estate agent, they probably could get a number of the closing costs paid for you during the transaction. They just have to negotiate it with the sellers. So if you guys are interested in buying a home and you're one of those professions, you probably could come to the table with only giving a certain amount of money away. It really is a great deal, and that's why I kind of wanted to start this episode off with that. But because I know there's a lot of you guys out there, especially in the health industry right now, just really working at beating this coronavirus thing. And there is grant money for you to buy a home. Okay, now that we got the grant money out of the way for the state of Texas, let's jump into the 8 best ways to save during 2020 and during this coronavirus era time. So the first best way to save some money is to master the 30-day rule. You know, one of the most important rules of personal finance is to avoid instant gratification. Waiting 30 days to decide on a purchase is an excellent way to implement this rule. You know, quite often as the days go by, you find that urge to buy has passed, or at least gives you a better perspective on whether it's truly worth the money. Either way, it's a win-win, and it saves you the money that you might have thrown away when you master the 30-day rule. Okay, the second way to save is to cancel unused memberships. I know this sounds simple, but are you paying any sort of dues or fees that you never use? For instance, a gym membership, or maybe an app that you've never really used. Look, if you're on the fence about any of these subscriptions, or you find that you're not really using them that often, go ahead and cancel them. Remember, you can always renew the membership at a later time if it turns out that you actually do miss them. You know, a good way to do this is to check your bank account and see what items you can eliminate. And once you cancel these unused memberships, you'll see that you have a lot of money to save towards a down payment or towards closing costs if you're looking to buy a new home. Okay, the third way to save some money during this time is to not spend big money entertaining your children. You know, we all know that your children are home nowadays, and, you know, most children, especially young ones, can be entertained very cheaply. You know, we're finding new ways during this corona time, and it's interesting. You'll see a lot of people walking around the block, or they play ball in the yard, and some are even going to parks. Especially in San Antonio, we're going to be reopening pretty soon, so we'll see a lot of that. You know, when you come to realize that children just want our time more than our stuff, you will find that money in your pocket is much better, and your children will be much happier just spending time with you rather than just buying them the latest video game or the latest Toys R Us toy. Okay, the next item to save some money during this time is to avoid eating out or eating fast food. Look, I know during Corona, this isn't possible to eat out, but they're going to be reopening these restaurants pretty soon, and they still do give food out at the fast food places. So instead of stopping by those kind of convenient, unhealthy fast food places, try making some simple, healthy replacements that you can take with you. You know, most people would be surprised how much they eat fast food in a given week and the high cost that they're paying. You know, I've been guilty of this myself, just kind of on the run. It's just really quick and easy to do. But if a fast food meal for one costs about, I don't know, about $7, maybe $8, how much money would you save if you replace that with a nice simple meal that you made at home? After a short time, you will see the savings add up real fast. Okay, the next way to save during this time is to write a list before you go shopping and then stick to it. So creating a list before you go grocery shopping and sticking to it is especially important. With a list, you typically end up making impulse buys, right? If you don't have a list, all these unplanned purchases will just cost you more. Um, Not only can having a list help you buy items that fit within your meal plan so that you don't run to fast food, but it also can help you avoid buying foods that you might waste. We sometimes you get extra bananas or extra apples because you think that you're going to eat them, and then they end up going bad real quick. Um, so try to avoid wasting food. You know, Create that list, and then more importantly, just stick to it, and you will save a lot of money. Okay, so the sixth item to save some money is try to fix things yourself. It used to be far more difficult to find ways to fix everyday items before YouTube hit the scene, right? But today you can find online tutorials and videos that'll show you exactly how to fix almost anything for free. If you haven't done it before, try it. You'll be surprised on how many videos, a certain area has that are available free of cost, showing you exactly what it takes to fix the issue. Obviously, if it's a bigger issue, you have to call a repairman, but there's a lot of those minor issues that you could do yourself. Okay, the seventh way to save some money during this time is when you're buying a car, look only for used models. So from an investment standpoint, new cars make terrible investments. I'm sorry, I know all you car dealerships out there will be upset with me with this, but not only do they kind of like drop the value the second you drive them off the lot, but they continue to drop with every year that goes by and every mile that gets put on it. Now, the good thing is that there is an abundance of used cars that are relatively in good condition. So if you stop making payments on a car and start kind of living within your means with what you can afford, maybe putting cash on a used car, like Dave Ramsey says, he says, live like no one else today so that you can live like no one else tomorrow. And I truly believe that, because you'll be saving so much money by not paying for that new car and making monthly payments of $300, $400, $500. Okay, the eighth and final way to save during this time is always ask for fees to be waived. So this is kind of like a surprise way to save. A lot of people don't tend to do this. So look, next time you're signing up for a service of any kind, whatever it is, ask them if the startup fees can be waived. Right? What do you have to lose? Not always, but sometimes managers and owners are willing to waive startup costs or minor fees to make their customers happy. Try it. Be open to save more money. I know it seems like a minor thing, but if you kind of add all these 8 different things, you can start seeing your savings account get bigger and bigger. And I know with President Trump issuing all the checks to help, the stimulus checks that kind of help our economy grow, you can actually apply some of that, obviously if you have your job and stuff like that, to a down payment, or your tax returns, right? We're getting them back pretty soon. If you filed already, you can cover a lot of the costs for a down payment and closing costs. Remember, it does not take 20% to buy a home nowadays. It takes about 3%. So you really can probably cover most of your of your closing costs and your down payment with the stimulus check or with your tax returns. Okay, this is going to wrap up our 3rd episode of Bear With Me. So we just talked about the 8 ways to save some money during 2020. Look, if you apply these, I would be interested to see how it works for you. You can reach me on any of the social medias. I'm on everything. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Snapchat. I'm even on TikTok. I'm even on Pinterest too. So if wherever you're at, reach out to me and let me know if you've applied any of these ways to save some money. Let me know if it works. I know I've applied it in my personal life, and it's worked for my wife and I. We have 3 kids, and we're able to save some money because we applied some of these things to our personal budget. So thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Bear With Me. We will be releasing another one next week. And next week's topic, we're actually going to be talking to our home sellers out there. We have a detailed marketing plan that is really good. And I know when coronavirus ends, people are going to be interested in putting their homes up. Obviously, we would love to help you guys sell your home here in San Antonio. But if you do go with another agent, I would still recommend listening to our episode because we will go into great detail on how to get a home sold. Okay, well, I'm Robert Ott with 3-Piece Real Estate, licensed at RE/MAX Integrity, and this is Bear With Me. Take care.